Little 311. Humming a little 311 to start the show on 3/16, 5 days late for that joke. Big podcast for you here on a Monday. Lots to discuss, including the Jeffrey Epstein saga continues. We've got Bank of America settling a major lawsuit with the Epstein victims, more controversy and issues with some of the other billionaires involved with Jeffrey Epstein. You may have heard of one, Bill Gates. That's definitely one of them. And Peter Attia. We've got to discuss that. Plus, Meghan Markle, there's a new book that's promising a lot of royal bombshells. One saying that she has brainwashed Harry. I mean, I could have told you that. I don't think we need a book to do that. But there's a source that's claiming that in the Meghan Markle camp. So it's about how evil she is. You know, your old pal Ant's covering it. Banksy's identity revealed. Shocking. I didn't think I'd see this in my lifetime. In fact, I kind of hoped I wouldn't. But we've got the story, and we'll tell you who it is. Plus some updates on Iran, little Oscars recap, and I'm sure we'll run into some other assorted topics and such. It's a Monday. It's me and you. It's a podcast. All right, everybody, bring it in. We are late, but we are here. And what does it matter? Because we got Robin in the house. We've got Deb. We've got Brian the Cannon Bannon. What up, big dog? I was hoping you'd be here for the debut of this T-shirt. Rox is here, Poke Hippie, Rhonda, Merck. Oh my gosh, everybody's here. Good to see everybody in the live chat. Appreciate you guys as always. If you listen to the replay or watch the replay, you know we're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 if my children are having nightmares and refuse to go to bed. Just to clarify. Jeffrey Epstein. We have to discuss this massive settlement that took place today between Bank of America and the Epstein victims. The lawsuit accused the bank of failing to detect or stop suspicious financial activity connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein allegedly used multiple banks to move funds related to his trafficking operation. The settlement amount was not publicly disclosed. Financial institutions have faced growing legal exposure for allegedly facilitating Epstein's operations, obviously. I mean, clearly there was some shenanigans going on there. But just like when the bank system took down the entire global economy in 2008, I don't anticipate anybody going to prison for this. They'll just settle with some money. And I can't fault the victims here, obviously, because they are victims. You know, they're going to take what they could get. But boy, would I just love to see somebody go to jail for this. Anybody would be great. I mean, happy that Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for now. But I don't know. Well, anybody else responsible would be nice. We had his accountant in front of Congress the other day. I don't know if that's going to really bring anything about. But all these people knew what was going on. Money was exchanged, large amounts of money. You'd think that somebody would be like, hey, this is going to a lot of 16-year-olds. This is weird. Hey, this one guy we have seems to be paying a lot of underage girls. Should we look into this? Nah. He's parked millions of dollars with us. Don't ruffle any feathers. Let's just keep making those fees. So congratulations to Bank of America for, like our own government, helping facilitate and protect pedophiles. You can use that, by the way. I'm going to give legal rights to what I just said to Bank of America to use in upcoming advertisements. I mean, if you want to, you might as well, because nothing is hurting you. Nothing, you know, hey, if we're good enough for Epstein, we're good enough for you. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know, something like that. We've given a lot of money to underage children via Jeffrey Epstein. Now help us fund your kids' college tuition. Open up a savings account with Bank of America. I, Anthony, give Bank of America full rights to use this in upcoming advertisements. I think it'll be good. Shocking. I think it'll be shocking. But you know what? That's what it takes right now to cut through in today's modern era of marketing and advertising on social media. You got to get noticed. You know what I'm saying? You got to put yourself out there and get noticed. Or it doesn't have to be, deal with children exclusively. Like you can say, hey, we've got enough to protect pedophiles and pay out to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and still make a profit. That's how good we're doing. Don't you want to put your money with us? Open up a savings account with Bank of America today, folks. Check out bankofamerica.com. There you go. I'm just laying down. I'm dropping verses is what the kids say. You know what I'm saying? I am dropping verses. I love this from Brooke. I closed my B.O.A card. Good for you, Brooke. I hope a lot of other people do too. I hope everybody cancels their Bank of America account and just leaves the word Epstein in the reason why. Because again, until we start doing these things, nothing's really going to change. Can't count on our government or Pam Bondi to do anything. So it all kind of falls down to us. Also want to mention this. Peter Attia, newly unearthed emails show the longevity doctor and podcast host, Dr. Peter Attia, had communications with Jeffrey Epstein. Emails allegedly reveal Epstein trying to network with Attia and other prominent scientists and medical figures. Epstein was known for funding and courting elite academics, scientists, and intellectuals. Attia reportedly did not maintain an ongoing relationship with Epstein, but the correspondence has resurfaced amid renewed scrutiny. Epstein used his network to build credibility with elite scientific circles. I think that they had some correspondence. I don't know if this Dr. Peter Attia did anything wrong. Does anybody know who Dr. Peter Attia is? I had not heard of this person, and then the story kind of broke, and I was like, oh, maybe he is a big deal. People seem to know him. I don't know who the hell he is. But yeah, it is kind of shocking that amongst just courting victims, Epstein, he knew the right people to go after. He liked being around intellectuals. He liked being around comedians, which is, I don't know why, a little surprising. It's a little shocking to me that that's kind of what he did. But this is what he did. I guess it's smart to keep yourself credible. I don't really know. Attia's name is mentioned 1,741 times in the Epstein files, although he has downplayed their relationship. Like everybody else who's been exposed in the Epstein dumps here, he's downplayed their relationship, but the emails show that the two had a deeper relationship than previously had claimed. He had said they had only met a handful of times. That's rough. Handful is rough. Boy, when you know you're guilty and it's been more than once or twice, you got to go with handful. You can't be like, well, 7 times, because that sounds bad. So you go, I don't know, a handful of times when you're not really sure. Just ask our Commerce Secretary. He throws out those generic terms. First reported by Politico, the emails reveal Attia's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein far deeper. In February, he denied any knowledge or any participation with Epstein's misdeeds. But the emails show Attia asked Epstein for patient referrals in 2015, stayed in his Upper East Side apartment in 2016, discussed a job opening for a head of patient experience role at his New York City-based medical practice in 2017. In April of that year, Epstein introduced Attia to a foreign-born model who was meeting with Epstein at his Manhattan mansion. After the meeting, Attia emailed the model a link to the job description saying he'd love to talk about it with her if she was still interested. Days later, the model, whose attorney, Brittany Henderson, said was abused by Epstein, forwarded him an email saying she had been invited to meet Attia and several friends at the upscale Baccarat Hotel in Midtown. Damn it, that's a great fucking hotel. I don't like their names being dragged into this. You ever have a chance, if you ever visit New York City, the Baccarat is an experience and expensive as all shit. I went. I could not afford it. Thank you, Uncle Glory Hole. But that is the Baccarat Hotel is a time. It is like gorgeous. You go in that room and there's just all these just beautiful Baccarat chandeliers. Like it's the kind of thing where as an adult male, I walk in and I go, "Oh, Aunt, don't touch anything." Like my mother's voice is instantly in my head. Just don't touch anything. Just keep your hands to yourself. Don't look with your eyes, not with your hands. I'm already yelling at myself 2 seconds into this gorgeous space, but beautiful. I had a really, really lovely evening there once with my family. Not Jeffrey Epstein, just to clarify. I only met Epstein a handful of times. Anyway, they were at the Baccarat Hotel Midtown. The 2 additional top candidates for the position. I think she'll be loyal, Epstein chillingly wrote in a follow-up email to Atia. Just disgusting. Atia spokesman David Vermillion said in a statement to the outlet that the longevity advocate's communication with Epstein did not result in a referred patient, an investment, or any support in building his practice. He included that the model was never actually offered a job. He accused the outlet of perpetuating a malicious narrative. See, that's bullshit. Malicious bullshit. There's time and time again that we have learned that these people have so much more to hide. And the only way to dig further is to report on what you know, on the facts that you know. And if you have these emails, they need to be put out. I'm sorry if some innocent people are going to have to defend themselves here. But as we've learned from this whole entire process, the only way we advance to get information on Jeffrey Epstein is by publicly reporting, sharing, posting, retweeting the factual information that we come across. That's the only way. And as we're learning with Mr. Commerce Secretary Lutnick, you have to keep chipping away at it. It's the only way you're going to get answers. It's the only way we've been able to get anything out of that balding piece of shit. Finally, for as far as Epstein goes, several ultra wealthy donors are reportedly quietly distancing themselves from Bill Gates and his giving pledge philanthropy initiative. Critics are saying that the initiative has become Epstein adjacent. What a term. Due to his past ties with the former child trafficker, Epstein attempted to insert himself into philanthropy networks involving wealthy donors in the past. Some donors reportedly fear reputational damage by association. Gates is obviously denied doing all wrongdoing. But again, like Lutnick and everybody else, maybe Peter Attia in the future, allegedly, who knows, we've learned more and more about these people's misdeeds. Even if they didn't do anything illegal, they were doing shitty things like cheating on their wives with, foreign girls. I don't know why foreign has anything to do with it. It just feels shady. It feels more like there was a potential for underageness when you have foreign into it, but that's the truth. I think they were both from Russia, maybe. So, and rightfully so. I hope everybody distances themselves from Bill Gates for the rest of his ungodly life. Because he wasn't doing anything wrong with Epstein. The richest, or one of the richest man on the planet, was looking for more money for philanthropy because he didn't have enough of his own money. He needed to find somebody with more money. That'd be like me going to another podcast host and being like, "Can you give me more podcast tips because I don't have enough podcast information?" Like, I got it. I figured it out. I don't need anybody else to help me with this. Let me see here. Brooke says, "And I stay at the Quality Inn on the Upper East Side, or if I miss the bus, we just sleep on the floor at the Port Authority." Hey, Brooke, I've been there. And I got news for you. Unless Uncle Glory Hole is picking up the tab, I'm a Quality Inn guy myself. I don't make it to the Baccarat Hotel unless Uncle Glory Hole invites me. And by the way, when I invite Uncle Glory Hole back, there's a chain restaurant involved, unfortunately for him. He's a good uncle. He gives more than he takes. He has no choice. It's easy to do when the nephew can't give anything. I tell Uncle Glory Hole all the time, I got that podcast money. If you want to come out to dinner with me, take you to this nice place called Panera. I don't know if you heard of it, but delicious sandwiches and soups. Panera. Some people may pronounce it Panera. That's not my jam. I did stay. I did. Have I ever told you the CBS FM story? I'm sure I've said this, but we did this was back in your old pal Ant's promotions days. We decided to do the Thanksgiving Day parade. I've told the story a bunch of times, but it's worth telling. And a couple of the guys that worked for me, they were like, "Hey, we need we want to blow up balloons and hand them out to the kids that are watching the parade, Thanksgiving Day parade." So they told my boss this, and she was like, "Hey, great idea." And they're like, "Okay, but we need to do this near the parade route. So can you get us a hotel room and we'll blow up the balloons there?" So my boss went for it. And of course, they used it as an excuse to go out and party the night before, which rightfully so. Good for them. I was an old man even back then. This is like 20 years ago. And I was like, I'm not going to party with you guys. But they partied. And we blew up the balloons the night before the Thanksgiving Day parade. It's like 500 balloons. I leave the hotel room. It's this shady, a Quality Inn is the Baccarat/Plaza Hotel to this hotel. You know, when you stay in a hotel and it doesn't even have a chain name to it, you know, like that's when you know, at the very least, you want to get yourself to a Hampton Inn. You know what I'm saying? Or a Quality Inn or a Red Roof or something. You know, Red Roof is like the murder motel, but at least you're at a chain. You feel somewhat good. This hotel, it was, it was like the 43rd Street, you know, motel. It was just awful. So I'm skeeving. I don't even want to sit down, but there we are blowing up 500 balloons the night before. I leave the hotel room that all the balloons are on the ceiling. I say, "Good night, guys. Good night, skeeve hotel room." I go home, wake up at 3:00 in the morning, drive back into the city. I walk into the room, and this smell of just beer, helium. I'm leaving out the part where we had to like sneak a helium tank into the hotel room, which was hilarious because the guy at the front desk is looking at us like, "You're not bringing that in here, are you?" And we're like, "Bringing what?" As we're sneaking this huge helium tank that we had delivered to the motel. And the guy looked at us like, "Honestly, I know that's bad, but it's probably not the worst thing that's going to happen in this hotel tonight." And so he just let us go. And so when I show up the next day, the room just smells like a beer and just a bad party night in the city. And every one of the balloons, I would say 497 of the balloons are down on the floor. They have all deflated. And all our hard work was for nothing. I literally had to wake them up from a stupor. They just smelled like they had been out drinking all night long. There we were trying to refill balloons. I think we maybe gave out 12 balloons. By like 8:30, we were like, "All right, let's go the fuck home." It was the worst, most stupidest idea ever. And there we all were back in work on Monday. And our boss is like, "Hey, how'd it go?" We were like, "Fucking great." The kids were eating it up. We were like, "Did you see any of the balloons on TV?" She was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, no, man, you got to go. You must have missed it." We were like right by the cameras and everything. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. We thought Al Roker had one at one point. She was like, "Wow, really?" Yeah, we're like, "Yeah, it was insane. It was nuts." We had so much exposure for us. It was just so much exposure. We literally gave out 12 balloons before we went home. I was just happy that my guys didn't puke on any kids as they were giving it out, because that was my real concern. That was the real concern. Anyway, those old great radio days. I'll have to get a CBS. I'll have to wear my CBS FM shirt one of these episodes. Hotel 69. That's exactly what that literally, Paul, that's exactly what it was. Like the guy, as we were sneaking the helium tank into the hotel, the guy looked at us like, "This is a new one." Usually prostitution, drugs, Perhaps a firearm of sorts is getting snuck in and out of there. We were the first people to bring he looked at us like, is there going to be a clown? Like, what are you guys into? Like, what do you guys fuck? 3 guys, 3 dudes just sneaking a helium tank. And weirdly, I want to say, like, it was big. Like, it got you ever see the commercial, like the helium trucks? Like, they have like 19 helium tanks on the, like, one of those literally pulled up and delivered the fucking helium tank to the hotel, and we snuck it up. And I want to say we walked it up the stairs because either we couldn't fit it in the elevator, because again, it wasn't like this is like the elevator wasn't your regular elevator size. It was like you could fit 2 people, maybe 3, and their shoulders will be touching, kind of an elevator. And I don't know if we couldn't fit it in the elevator or we thought this might explode if we take it into the elevator. So we carried it up the stairs, I believe. I don't think I'm making that part up, but I'm pretty sure we carried it up the stairs. It's one of those, again, when somebody in a busted up New York City $17 a night motel gives you a look like what is wrong with you, it makes you re-examine your life. It makes you, when you're driving home and you catch your eye in the rearview mirror, it makes you say, what are you doing? Is this what is this what your parents sacrificed for? Is this what you spent every night studying in that St. John's library for? And yeah, the same answer is yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. I hope it was a non-smoking room. Miss Justice, I don't want to say anything too disparaging, because the guys I worked with, I still love and respect to this day, and they're still kicking around in the industry. But I will never forget the smell in that room. It kind of smelled like the old Shea Stadium, just beer and piss everywhere, just guys. I will say this, the guys that I hung out with or that worked with me, one of them was Canadian, and my man could drink. I mean, he can put him away. I just remember partying with him and just being like, you're not, I'm not on your level. How Canadians can fucking drink, dude. Canadians can drink. You have to. If you're crazy enough to get out on a frozen lake at 3 years old in shorts, being like, I can triple deke, watch me, I'm going to be the next Gretzky. There's something in your blood that makes you just consume alcohol with these. You have to be fucking batshit crazy to be able to do that. And by the way, they did all, I didn't even want to sit down in the room. They're like, yeah, why don't you sit? I'm like, I was like, I don't think you guys get it. I'm going to burn my fucking shoes for even touching this carpet. I don't want to touch a thing. It was so bad, I held the dirty, disgusting helium tank. They're like, aren't you afraid that's going to explode? I'm like, it can only improve my situation. If this explodes, I'm holding on to this, because if it fucking blows up, I'll only feel better about things not being in this, Do you know do you ever watch the movie Big, when he gets that low rent room to stay in and there's like arguing and gunshots and he's crying in his room? That was me 5 minutes into filling up the balloons. They're like, why are you curled up at a ball crying? I'm like, it's just, I skeeve hotel rooms. This is my absolute worst nightmare. This is my absolute worst. This is what your old pal Ant did to try and break into the on-air radio business. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fucking embarrassing. Embarrassing. Drinking beer in Canada is different from drinking beer here. Brooke, truer words never spoken. I mean, Cuddles and I went to Canada once and we did a tour of a brewery, and it ruined us, because every brewery tour we went, like the guy who was taking us around slammed like 17 beers on the tour and got better as it went. Like, I just, like, every time there was a sample, like a little sample, like he just was like downing a whole entire beer. We went to this one place, Thistle Whistle or something, Steam Whistle. And I take a sip of this beer and I go, oh my God, this is like the greatest. And they go, yeah, We only use water from like one part of Canada. Like we literally pipe it down into this brewery, and it's like the freshest Quebec water ever. It was like, it's like from a melting ice cap or something. I'm like, what is this ice cap made out of? Fucking unicorn tears? Like, this is amazing. It was delightful. And those guys drank it. They bathed in it. They washed their hands. I mean, they were crazy. The fucking Canadians are crazy. Steam Whistle. Check it out. It was, if you ever go to Toronto, fun brewery to tour. Really, really fun brewery to tour. Boy, we really went out on a tangent there, didn't we? There's a new Meghan Markle book about Meghan and Prince Harry. It's generating some headlines, to say the least. The book claims to reveal private tensions between the Sussexes and the royal family. Allegations include ongoing fractures between Harry and Prince William, royal family concerns about Meghan's media influence, and internal disputes about how the monarchy handles all of the publicity. The book reportedly draws from insider sources close to the couple. Harry and Meghan have already told their side of the story, of course, from Harry's memoir, Spare, their fantastic Netflix documentary, and let's never forget the Oprah interview. One of the big claims coming from this particular book is Queen, do we call her Queen? Queen Consort, I think, Camilla. She's saying that, well, an insider is saying that Camilla was complaining that Meghan Markle brainwashed Harry. And again, I go with, well, obviously. I mean, there's no way a guy like that throws away his entire world unless he's getting a little bit brainwashed. You know? I mean, that's got to be it. This article starts with, if you don't mind, get your finger out of my face, Meghan Markle once snapped at Prince William. The meeting between brothers and their wives had spun out of control, sitting in the Cambridge's recently decorated 20-room Kensington Palace apartment soon after the Sussexes returned from their honeymoon in June of 2018. Harry watched the confrontation escalate. William's dislike of Meghan had been obvious after his warning to Harry before their engagement. William had said it's gone too quickly about the speed of Harry's relationship with the American actress. William's suspicion of Meghan was echoed by his wife. Boy, that Kate. I saw a clip of her and William talking to this girl who started like a crumble business or something like that. And the way they were talking to her, it was just like, I was like, oh my God, I wish they would talk to me about the podcast like this. They were like, this must be tough to do. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I gave up my whole career. I was just complaining about this last episode. She's like, I gave up my whole career, you know, got out of the rat race to make my little crumble business. I don't even know what crumble is. I'm assuming it's bread, like this stuff on top of a coffee cake. I don't know if she just does. I don't know what the English are doing over there. I have no fucking idea. There were all kinds of, you ever see one of their breakfasts? There's fucking beans on the plate. They're just out of their mind. Why would you put baked beans for breakfast? You're just going to be farting your face off the whole goddamn day. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, who am I to take down a whole nother culture? But I think we could all agree the fucking beans for breakfast is ridiculous. With eggs and a bunch of other dairy. Are you insane? I'll be on the toilet all fucking day if I had an actual English breakfast like that. You know? And then they give you the tea. It loosens everything up. It warms up your cockles. You know? You're just... I mean, yeah, beans on toast. These people, what are they doing? Anyway, so that was one of the things. They're little, but they were talking to Crumble Girl, and oh my God, they were just like, oh, wow, isn't this fantastic? And then Crumble Girl touched Kate, and I was like, oh my God, I don't think you're supposed to touch the royals. So I was like, don't touch Kate. She's fighting that cancer bitch. She's doing her best. But anyway, you look at them and you go, oh my God, they're the polar opposite of fucking Harry and Meghan. And by Harry and Meghan, I really mean just Meghan. Anyway, the big thing that I want, so obviously there's the fight there, but the other big thing that I wanted to talk about was allegedly Camilla, she was talking to somebody, so take this for a grain of salt or for what it's worth. And she said that, she's really worried that Meghan Markle has brainwashed Prince Harry. I mean, we've all kind of seen that before, right? I mean, hasn't anybody have that experience between family and friends? One person comes along, or your friend's dating somebody for a little while, and you're just sitting there going, when is this going to fucking be? This is bad. God, I hope they don't. He cannot be seriously, when's this breakup coming? Any day now, we got to get this breakup going. You know what it's like. Your friend calls you like, I got to tell you something. And you're like, don't worry, buddy. Relationships end. And they're like, what? And you're like, what? I don't know what. And they're like, I was calling to see if you wanted to go to a movie because I don't want to go to the movie you suggest. And you're like, oh yeah, no, that's what I was thinking too. I wasn't thinking that your girlfriend sucks. That's not what I was. Sorry. Yeah, we should do the thing that you were saying. Ignore what I'm saying. And then you're saying you're like, I'm on drugs. And then like, you don't do drugs. And you're like, you're right. But I did have beans on toast this morning. So I'm a little fucked up. I wasn't ready for all these questions. Just to clarify. Not that I'm saying this exact conversation ever happened, but something similar did happen. If I'm being honest with you, this was one of those A&E recreation scenes where pretty much this went basically the way that I just said. And I'm not going to say who the friend was. Banksy. In the chat right now, give me a 1 if you love Banksy and a 2 if you hate Banksy. Because I'm a 1. I'm going to go in the chat. I'm going to just show you guys that I'm not above you, and I'm going to put a 1 in the chat. I'm sitting here being like, you guys comment these things. I can comment too. I just want you to know I'm not above you. We're on the same level here. I can throw some comments in. 1 if you love Banksy, 2 if you hate him. I love Banksy. I absolutely love Banksy. And Bird, this is what Bird gave it 3 for don't know who it is. This is why Bird's an admin. Because she doesn't just sit there and go, oh no, my choices are 1 and 2. She breaks through the mold and says, I'm going to put a 3 down here because there needs to be a third option. And that's what I need in an admin. That's why Baby Bird is going to take us into the 23rd century. Or first or second. I think we're in the 21st. Somebody find out what century we're in. And let me know. Oh my God, Miss Justice, you don't know who Banksy is either? Oh my God. You guys, what have you been doing? I mean, I know what Bird's been doing, but I don't know about the rest of you. I really don't know. This is startling. Look how classy Paul is. He spells out 1. That was a class move, Paul. I didn't see that coming. Good for you. Wait, Miss Justice says 3 means I don't know and I don't care. Well, then that's a 4, Miss Justice. But I don't want to pick on you, but that sounds like a 4 to me. If you're adding on the don't care part, I think 4 is what you were going for on that one. All right, let me Google Banksy. Because I bet you if I show you guys some pictures, or you do a quick Google if you're at home and you're listening on your radio device, you could find pictures of Banksy. Rhonda says, I love Banksy. Rhonda, you're only supposed to put a 1. I thought we were clear with the rules. You see what happens? See Bird? See when you break the mold, then now we have utter chaos. Rhonda's just writing real letters and sentences and words. The whole thing is out. We've lost control. We're 3 minutes into the Banksy segment, and it's utter chaos. It's utter chaos. I've lost control of the whole goddamn thing. Oh, I tell you, it's not easy. Rhonda coming back with the classy spelt out 1. You guys make me laugh. You guys are the best. Oh, here we go. That's what I was waiting for, Paul. Robin, the potato. The classic Robin potato. All right, this is Banksy. A graffiti artist is such an unfair way to put it, but he is one of those alternate artists. There's a great documentary on Banksy. Is it Exit Through the Gift Shop? I think that's what it's called. It's like 10, 15 years old at this point, but it's so good. If you've never seen Banksy and you love artwork, watch Exit Through the Gift Shop. It is so phenomenal. I don't know. I just love his work. He does a lot of like graffiti on the sides of walls. He's done sculptures. Like that's what I want to say. It's not just graffiti. He does all sorts of, amazing things. But it's also poignant. The little girl with letting the balloon go was like there's something about his work that's so simple and just rare and weird that I've loved it. I don't know, from the first moment I saw his stuff. And again, I grew up in New York, so he's been dropping artwork around New York for most of my life. And I think I was probably I don't know if I was in my teens, but I was in my early 20s when I first came to know Banksy. When he was just, and he would just run up on a neighborhood on a random night. He would paint a bunch of amazing things in the middle of the night, and then the next morning you'd be walking by, and there's a little girl letting go a balloon on the side of, and it's just like this beautiful, wonderful work, Fuck. I got news for you. This is going to be a tough one to beat for comment of the episode. Brian says, I canceled my Banksy of America credit card, also just in case. That's one hell of a callback. That is a game-winning Grand Slam home run that I don't know if we're going to beat that on this episode. I really don't know. Anyway, I love his work. And then when I saw the documentary on him, it made me love him even more. And then he did all sorts of great things. You might remember from a couple of years ago, he sold this painting. It was a Banksy original, but he rigged the painting so that it would shred itself as it was on the auction block. Because what started happening was, as he grew in popularity, like he would paint on a wall and then people would go and they would cut the fucking wall off of the side of a building just to make some money off of it. I remember one time he stacked bricks. I don't know if this is in the documentary or after, but he stacked bricks at like a Queens salvage yard to look like the Sphinx. And that thing was like, forget it. The guys went and found that freaking thing, and they sold that for millions. So all his work started getting sold for millions, and then he hated that. Oh, another thing he would do, he would paint a bunch of shit, and then he would give it to one of those street vendors to sell. So people would be walking by. So Banksys were selling for millions of dollars, and people would be walking by on the street and they could pay $8 for a real Banksy. But you never knew if it was real or not. But then he would film it and then he would put it out on social from his official account. And you'd be like, holy shit, that was real. Those were real Banksys being sold. So it's really, somebody who's so disruptive and out of the ordinary and, who can say so much with such little amount of paint and everything, and the impact on culture that he had, except for Miss Justice and Bird and a few others, was unbelievable. But for years, we didn't know who he really was. We did not know his identity whatsoever. And it turns out that now we do know. And fucking Banksy looks like an accountant. It's so depressing. It is so depressing. These new photos show that I'll give you his name and everything here. He's been identified as Robin Gunningham. Robin Gunningham. By the way, Robin, what's your last name? Is it Gunningham? Because that would be amazing. I can't give you a picture of him because every picture is like credited. So we don't have the rights to flash like a picture of him on the screen. But I'm telling you, he looks like a fucking account. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, if you look at the artwork for this episode, I kind of put in like a mysterious person because that's what I was picturing he would look like. And he looks nothing like that. When I saw an actual photograph of him, if you Google Banksy Robin Gunningham, you'll see a picture of him. But I just thought I would give this guy my tax returns and see if he can't save me more money. I wouldn't think he was the world famous guerrilla artist. But Reuters did a detailed investigation and they were able to nail this down. The most recent image taken nearly 20 years ago has come out. He's 52 years old. He's from Bristol in the UK, so he likes beans for breakfast. That should tell you something. Which is probably why he worked late at night. Probably take him all day to get off the friggin' toilet. There's photos that have surfaced of him wearing a blue short sleeve shirt over a white t-shirt, jeans, and sunglasses, crouching down and smiling with a spray can at his feet. The photograph was taken in 2004 while he was on a trip to Jamaica to meet up with local photographer Peter Dean Rickards. Rickards had been on assignment for the record label Wall of Sound, who had signed Banksy to produce artwork for upcoming album covers. But the pair reportedly had a falling out when they met in Jamaica's capital, Kingston. So that was part of it. He didn't reveal Banksy's name in the post, but he did share 21 photos of the artist and their work in Jamaica. One of those photos was published in London's Evening Standard newspaper in July of 2004 under the headline Unmasked at Last. At the time, Banksy's then manager Steve Lazarides denied that the picture showed the artist, insisting that it was someone else. However, the picture compared with footage of Banksy from interviews taken in the late 90s shows a matching bracelet and watch on his left arm, matching brown and bristly hair, glasses, an earring in his left ear, distinct tattoo in his forearm, this Reuters investigation found. Banksy was also arrested a couple of times, and they were able to find out that the arrest records check in with where he was at a certain time. And then also at one point, he changed his name to David Jones, which apparently is the most common name in the UK. And they were able to get those records of going from Robin Gunningham to David Jones. There you go. To clarify, Robin is more of a tracer. There you go. So not so much a stencilist and graffiti artist, but more of a tracer. Me too, Robin. Me too. Nothing to worry about there. So yeah, so we have Banksy's, and like the picture of him now, when you look at the Reuters article, here, I'll put the Reuters article on the thing. It's just so depressing. It's just like, this guy is not, this isn't like the fucking rebel artist that I thought, you know, honestly, like literally everything the guy has done, I've loved, except for one thing. He did this like anti-Disney thing once, like where he created a whole theme park of like depression and just like misery and stuff. I didn't really love that. And this was like, I want to say maybe post 9/11, maybe just before. I forget when exactly that was, but he literally like bought like an amusement park and like, or found like an abandoned amusement park and like made it all like depressing and stuff, where you don't win like dolls from the water gun race, like you win like a doll's cut off head or something weird like that. And I was just like, oh, this is a little weird. I'd go back to stenciling graffiti on a wall, on a random wall in Queens. You know, that's the good time Banksy. And then when he did the self-destructing artwork that literally, like, if you ever watched that piece, that piece was on Social, where they're at like, you know, Christie's or some big auction house, and they're auctioning this thing off, and then all of a sudden he goes, ah, and just starts, it comes down in its frame, and he had built in like a shredder, and he literally just shredded his artwork. What was hilarious about that, though, was it was his little like phrase of being like, fuck this, I don't want my work going for money. And I think the person who bought it, like resold the shredded artwork, and it made even more money. Like, because it's anything that the guy touches, people just want to get their hands on. You know, that's the problem with rich people. They just, even when you have somebody who's doing graffiti for the streets, like they find a way to fucking ruin it. It's unbelievable. It's not just Epstein. It's all the douchebags, you know? It really, really is. Anyway, Banksy's out there, and he looks like a fucking accountant, and it's depressing. So if you needed more reason for 2026 to be weird, there you go. The year we found out that Banksy is no better than an accountant. Feel bad for the accountants, by the way. All right, Iran and the war. A couple things to update you on here. Iran. I saw this in the Discord, by the way. Iran hit a hotel in Baghdad. It was people were concerned that it was near the U.S. embassy. It was still a pretty prominent hotel, so Iran is definitely still firing back. Iran over the weekend released footage that they claim was an attack on a U.S. vessel. We think it's an oil tanker that was blown up. The footage was released by Iran, so how much can you trust it? A couple of outlets verified that the footage was real. However, we don't really know if it was an American vessel or not, or part of an attack, or what it really was. It's kind of hard to find that information. Some people are just poo-pooing it, and other people are saying, it's from Iran. How can you trust anything? So that's part of what's going on from over the weekend. And then we have the latest two things, which is I was going to play the recording for you, but after I thought about it, it's kind of useless. It's Iranians talking about the fact that the new Ayatollah, the son there, barely got out alive from the attack. So some people were giving me shit over the weekend because we were talking about this, and they were like, how could you trust anything that Donald Trump says? I'm like, I hear you, but he's also the president of the United States. Unfortunately, it is our government. And I'm totally down with being skeptical. However, when it comes to war, it's either our side or the other side. And that's the only people that are going to be giving information for a while until third parties can get in there and confirm some of these things. So for now, we've got to go with what we have. And that was the story, that this guy was disfigured and everything like that. And it turns out that was now corroborated by some audio. When I first heard that there was audio, I was assuming it would be like him just kind of like hanging out. And then all of a sudden we hear that he got half blown up. But that's not it. It's just a bunch of people talking about the fact that he got half blown up. So take that for what you will. I do believe this guy was disfigured. I do believe there's an issue, but there's an even bigger part of this story today, which is kind of crazy, which is that I don't even know how to use Khamenei is his name. And again, this was the same strike that killed his father. I think his name is Mojtabi, Mojtaba. Does anybody know how to pronounce that? I don't want to offend anybody. Mojtabi, Mojtabi. I don't know. But they're saying, this is the report. I kid you not. This is the report today. There's a report out there that Donald Trump was briefed by intelligence officials that the new Ayatollah, the son of the Ayatollah Khomeini, is, quote, probably gay. The claim is being circulated around political and intelligence circles. Two intelligence agents reportedly told the New York Post this. And they also said that when the president was briefed, that he audibly laughed out loud at the fact that the new Ayatollah is, quote unquote, probably gay. I don't know what it is about probably that is such. As soon as I read those words, I just heard Trump saying, it's probably gay. Just the way he talks, just the way he discusses things. Trump couldn't contain his surprise and laughed out loud when he was briefed on the intel, according to sources. Others in the room also found it, quote, hilarious and joined the president's reaction, while one senior intelligence official, quote, has not stopped laughing about it for days. One person familiar with the briefing told the New York Post. Now, what's crazy about this is you can kind of see this being true because the original Ayatollah didn't want his son to be the next supreme leader. And what everybody kind of thought the reason was because he was a real son of a bitch. And he thought he would be even worse. Could you imagine the Ayatollah going, can't give it to my kid because he's even worse than I am? He's got an even bigger, this is the guy who's just hanging people left and right, killing people, mass genocides. right? Funding terrorism all over the world. And he's like, don't put my kid in there because he's a real piece of, we thought it was because perhaps he felt he was evil. But now the thought is he knew his son was gay and thought that he wouldn't be able to hold the country or have to overreact to protect that fact. But supposedly, according to this intelligence that is going around, it's widely known that the new supreme leader is gay, which to me is just brilliant, because as you look at the chaotic mess that 2026 is growing into, nobody in their wildest dreams could think that the oppressive, horrific, terrorist funding, anti-gay, anti-liberal, anti-women's rights Iranian leader is gay. Nobody had that on a bingo card. I don't care what superpower you think the Simpsons have. You can go back and watch all 5 million episodes they've created. I guarantee you that thing is not in there. There is no way. There's no way. This is pretty funny. He'll probably decorate the palace with gaudy gold shit. That's fucking good. That's fucking good. I don't know if you've dethroned Brian the Cannon Bannon, Robin, but that's right up there. I'm going to put that right up there for comment of the episode. And I know I'm right because Paul has given, this is how I know some funny shit has gone on in the chat. If I see this emoji, I know that's a signal like, hey, idiot, look at the chat. Look at what's like, thank you for backing that up. And that's a second. Paul has seconded brilliant comment right there with that one little emoji. That's pretty fucking funny, Robin. Yeah, that's unbelievable to me. I mean, they're throwing gay people off of roofs over there like it's a fucking cow tipping in the middle of this country on a Saturday night. It's very common is what I'm trying to say. And the fucking goddamn new leader is gay. That's unbelievable to me. That is just unbelievable. I mean, how could you... Somebody's fucking with us, right? I mean, don't you feel like somebody's fucking with us? I don't know. I don't know. God or the universe, whatever you call it. They're just sitting around in a writer's room going, guess, no, listen to what I came up with last night after you left. They're going to blow up the Iranian thing. The son's going to take over. And you're like, big deal. But the son's gay. You're like, hold on a second. That might be, this sounds like a Sopranos thing. Wasn't one of the mafia guys gay and they never liked gay guys? They were like, that's what I was thinking. We'll do that. That was such a good show. It's going to play in the real world, in real life. It's going to be amazing. We're going to make the Ayatollah gay. Who knew the new supreme leader is fucking Vito from The Sopranos? I mean, not actually fucking him, but is just like Vito from The Sopranos. You know? That's unbelievable to me. I mean, nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming. I'm stunned. I can't even... This is like art imitating. What does they say? When life imitates art and then art imitates life back again? That's kind of what this is. The new supreme leader is in the closet gay. It's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me. I can't get over it. I can't get enough of that idea. That and Trump going, it's probably gay. Just something about probably, you know? It's just something about probably. The new leader is not good. I call him the not so supreme leader. Not to be confused with Nachos Supreme chips from Taco Bell, because I love those. They're no McDonald's, but I love them. I still love them. Remember when I was trying to win over Mexicans? I ordered a taco salad at Trump Tower. That was great. I won over a lot of people with that one. That was big. I showed that I could eat a taco salad. very versatile. But the not so supreme leader is gay. He's probably gay. People have been telling me he's probably gay. I don't know why. I love that. I just love that so much. I don't know what it is, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's probably, they tell me he's, so I'm gonna give him a call and tell him I'm okay. I don't mind that you're gay, but you got to stop killing all the other gays and make a deal with us. Because he's probably gay, but he sounds like he's mostly gay. Sounds like he's mostly. That's brilliant too, because there's something about mostly gay. Like he's mostly gay. Like it just sounds like something that Trump would say. We hear that he's mostly gay. He's gay most of the time. Not in public, of course. That's when he's not gay. But behind closed doors, they tell me he's probably mostly gay. He's probably mostly gay. What do you got? The next food Ann brings up, he has to DoorDash me. Bert, are you starting with the cravings? Because I got pregnant lady cravings too, and I'm not. At least I don't think. I'm gonna pee on a stick later just to make sure. But I've had pregnancy cravings for the last 15, 16 years. I just start thinking about food and I can't get it out of my head. My wife used to tell me, she's like, when she was pregnant, she would be like, I'm the fucking pregnant one. Why are we getting all of your cravings? I'm like, I don't know. I just can't. I'm fucking dying over here. Fucking I need the food. I fucking need it. I need the food. Anyway, here, even though I just tipped the bit, we're going to do it anyway. I actually have, nobody's been able to confirm it, but the A.O.A. investigators have gotten down to the bottom of it on whether or not the new Ayatollah is allegedly gay or not. We were able to intercept a phone call from the new Ayatollah. This is him on the phone with somebody, and it's confirmation. Let's see if we can pick up what this audio sounds like.
I love you, Johnny Cakes.
There you go. That's it. That's the new Ayatollah. Confirmation. Probably mostly gay. The new Ayatollah is gay. That's unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. He's Vito from The Sopranos. This is crazy. They all say gay is bad, and then Vito's gay. They're over there killing gay people, and then all of a sudden the new supreme leader is gay. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, you got to think we have a shot at opening that country up a little bit. I mean, maybe he turns things around. Maybe he's like, hey, everybody, I'm a little gay. I'm mostly gay. Maybe we could be a little accepting. I mean, they followed the last dude no matter what to the letter of the law. I think they'd follow the new guy. You float it out there. You start little. You go little. You go like this. You go, listen. We're not gonna turn into America, death to America for sure. But every Thursday we're gonna have Project Runway. We're gonna put Project Runway on for at least the season. We're gonna see how everybody feels about it, and then we'll go from there. We'll see if maybe we can, maybe we'll bring in some like that line of Harry Styles clothing. Did you guys see that bit from SNL where they were dressing up men in Harry Styles fashion? Fucking funny bit. Brian goes, more like jihadi cakes. I love you, jihadi cakes. Oh shit. Oh man. Robin, you saw it. This week's the SNL with Harry Styles was pretty good. The Sebastian Maniscalco bit was great. It was great. I love you, jihadi cakes. That's gonna be the thing. I don't even know what to do. Like, what do you even do with that? I don't even know. I just don't. I don't get people. Even the Ayatollah. Your son's gay. You can't turn it around for the country. You know, you can't be like, hey, everybody. Turns out my son's gay, mostly gay, probably gay. So we're going to stop killing the gay people. Just want to let everybody know. New rule. Who's that guy? Bill Maher. New rule, everybody. Found out my son's gay, and we're just going to stop hating on gay people for a little while. Not women, though. They still can't drive. They got to cover themselves up. That's bullshit. We're not going to let them vote on shit. But the gay people, maybe. Just, you know. Everybody, let's hang out with my son for an afternoon and see if we can get along with the gay thing for a little while. The poor women. The poor women. I tell you what. Yeah, well, I think you got to start with Project One Runway, Poke Hippie, and then you get it, and then you can move into Drag Race. Then you can get, yeah, you got. I think you got to. Again, I don't want to be insensitive here, but you know, you go from throwing gay people off a roof, you can't go right into Project Runway. I mean, Drag Race. You got to give that a little time. You got to get there. Steps. I think baby steps. Baby steps to gay acceptance. Baby steps to gay acceptance. I got to watch What About Bob again. I just been too long since I watched that movie. Let me see. Did I do all the Iran stuff? I think so. I got to be honest with you. It's been an hour. I'm running out of steam. What'd you guys think of the Oscars? Everybody throw in their Oscar thought. A drag burqa. I like that. I like that idea. But Arnold, what's the burqa? That's the full. Nah, I got to Google this because I want to make sure I'm not insensitive when I make insensitive jokes. That's the whole. But don't the dudes wear the burqas too, or is that just for a chick thing? You know, well, just because he's gay doesn't mean he's a crossdresser, or maybe it does. I'm not sure how it all works. But that'd be hilarious if he was walking around like a. You know, in the burqa. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that in a country that they murder gay people, a lot of closeted gays there. Maybe they get out of the closet down a little bit. Maybe this is what we need to just break through all this. Maybe it'll just be like, yeah, I'm gay, everybody. Well, let's just try it a liberal way. We could still do the whole praying and everything, but let's just get a Wendy's in here. We'll fucking open up a Chick-fil-A. We'll let the women drive and flash their hair. Let's see what happens. Who cares? You know, maybe it's me. Maybe I just get you know what? I can't stand bullshit. I can't stand lying. Like it weighs on me. I'm going through something right now. Just in a personal side project where it's just a lot of lie. It's a lot of just like, hey, can we just talk honestly? Can we just be honest here? Let's get this all out in the open. What do we do? Like, it's that drives me crazy. Hiding who you really are. Like, I mean, just to me, I would just love it if the new Ayatollah is like, guess what, everybody? My dad's dead. I'm gay. Come back tomorrow. We'll figure it out. I think we're going to get a Wendy's. Wait until you guys get Bravo. It's fucking eye-opening. I mean, I know we're all on the death to America thing, but watch what these women are doing in Jersey. You're not going to fucking believe it. They're flipping tables over. Andy Cohen's got a whole thing. We're going to baby step our way to, you know, moving this country into a modern, more liberal state. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. What does the guy have to lose? Apparently, he's all fucked up and disfigured anyway. You know, just drop that bomb out there, being like, I've been gay. I've been so gay. I've been mostly gay. I've been mostly prominently gay. Not probably. I've been prominently gay. But the good news is, try your TV remote. What do they have? 3 channels over there? I would imagine it's just 3 channels of just the same shit. Guess what? Channel 4 is now Bravo. You're going to fucking love it. If you don't love me and my gay ass, try Andy Cohen. See if you can warm up to Andy Cohen. That if I had to go into a oppressive, gay killing country, I'm going to be waving the Andy Cohen flag because there's just something lovable about that son of a bitch. He just gets straight women to just fight and argue with each other and slap each other and pull hair and flip fucking tables. It's wildly entertaining. Everybody loves it. I'm going to go in there with Andy Cohen and I'm going to try and win some fucking people over. That's going to be my move. I don't want to be the Bannon to the new Ayatollah's Epstein here, but if I had to revamp that reputation, I'm going to be like, guess what? Andy Cohen's going to come in here. He's going to do a live appearance. Aren't you guys opening up a car dealership or the new Burka store? Okay, when that new Burka store opens up in whatever your Times Square is, we're going to bring fucking Andy Cohen down. He's going to cut the ribbon. He's going to sign some autographs, take some pictures. We're going to have Housewives of Jersey blasting in the background. People are going to fucking love it. They're going to lose their minds. You're going to find yourselves going, hang on about that Death to America shit. Let's go get a Frosty and see what's what. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk to our new gay leader over a Chick-fil-A and a fucking Frosty or a Dairy Queen while Andy Cohen is moderating. And you know what we're doing? We're moving forward. We are making progress. We can run reruns of Allah and the Family. That would be great. I think that would be really, really good. They should get to know Meathead. They really, really should get to know Meathead. Although chickpea head over there, I know is meat a thing? And I don't even. Are they mostly vegetarians? Hummus head, whatever it is. Now, see, because of that joke, I got to fucking DoorDash Bird some hummus. I'll tell you what, I love a hummus with a little bit of paprika on top, smoked paprika, if you will. So fucking good. One of the restaurants by me, they take the fucking pita and they fry it. Just when you think like pita and hummus can't get any better, some son of a bitch from the United States of America goes, I know how we can make this better, how we make everything better in America, by deep frying it. And they deep fry the fucking pita chips and they come out like a little crispy, like they're still soft and pillowy on the inside, but the outside's a little crispity crunchy. And you just run that through a fucking hummus pile with maybe a good oil on top and some smoked paprika, and you've got yourself a party like you wouldn't believe. A party like you would not believe. And this same restaurant that I go to like all the time, they're always like every 3 months or so, they're like, guess what? We made you a different kind of hummus. And I go, no, but I love the old hummus. And they go, try the new hummus. And every time I try it, it's better than the Johnny cakes or the jihadi cakes. However, depending on what part of the conflict you're in on. Let me know what your opinions were of the Oscars last night if you watched it. I watched the whole thing. You know, it's weird. I don't know if it's just I'm getting older or I've seen a lot of these things. I say this about like the movies a lot of the time where it's like what was a good movie in the 90s and the 2000s, something changed in the 2020s with all the streaming. Like I feel like this is like when people go, oh, the new McDonald's burger is good. Well, I'm sure it's good for fast food, but it's not like good for a restaurant. You know, the movies now I feel like are good for streaming, but they pale in comparison to the movies from back in the day, you know? So I watched the Oscars. I thought Conan was great, but I thought the crowd sucked. And then I saw this like overwhelming review of everybody who was at the Oscars who also said that Conan did a great job. But I feel like he was getting crickets sometimes. I liked that he poked fun of Timothée Chalamet. I loved his opening bit. I love that he just came out. This is so David Letterman-esque. He came out and it was just leaf blowing. There was just a bunch of leaves on the stage. He came out with a leaf blower. It was just blowing the leaves out of the way. I thought he did a great job. They cut off one of the acceptance speech givers, which is like in liberal Hollywood, such a like this only in liberal Hollywood could you be like, these shows stink because they go so long. And then the second they try and cut off sound editing for a foreign 3-minute, feature animated film, the person that nobody gives a shit about, the second they cut them off, they're like, oh my God, boo. Oh, the Academy is terrible, But at one point they cut off somebody, sound engineer, fuckface, whatever. They literally pull the mic down into the ground and would not let this guy talk. And Conan could not help but laugh at this little guy. He was just hysterical laughter. And then he goes, there's nothing funnier than watching somebody pull a microphone away from somebody trying to make an acceptance speech. I thought that was so good. And they were so worried about time, yet they played the end bit. Conan had an end produced bit, which if you saw one battle after another was pretty fucking hilarious. It was pretty hilarious because he spoofed all the Best Picture movies in the beginning, but didn't really give a lot of love to One Battle After Another. I mean, there was a little part. There was the Benicio part in it that was great, but it wasn't like a big thing. And then he went back to the ending of One Battle After Another. I don't want to spoil it, but it was great. It was fucking great. I really, really enjoyed that. And then all the conservative people are all upset that the theater was a mess after people left. They're like, look at Hollywood. They left the theater. Hey, it's a fucking theater. I don't know what people are expecting. I'm not making excuses for them. I could give a shit about any of them. But, you know, they give you these little things. You're there for fucking 5 hours. You're going to leave the water bottle behind. You know, that shit's going to happen. I would expect it to be better, but, you know, that's not all. The thing about the Academy Awards, it ain't all Hollywood elites there. It's the fucking sound guys. You know, it's the grips. You know, it's like the people in the agencies that steal an extra invite and get like a seat all the way in the back. One guy I know that does a conservative thing. He's like, just remember this next time, liberal Hollywood. Like, yeah, like big, yeah. So what? Liberal Hollywood is full of shit. Big deal. Who isn't? Like conservative politicians aren't. Give me a fucking break. You know. But point taken. I get it. I didn't love Javier Bardem. Is that his name? He was out there like he gets up to the thing. And he's like, free Palestine, and I forget what the other thing he said was, but I'm just like, okay. I didn't think I would turn into one of these guys that, you know, when I was younger, I was like, yeah, I was behind every political thing at an award show. Now I'm like, just get to the fuck. I just want to know who's winning. All I'm here for is One Battle After Another versus Sinners. I just want to see how many awards PT takes home and how many awards Ryan Coogler. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to know. You know, and I want to see some Conan bits. You know, that's it. I don't give a shit. Like, you know, the fact that people are still like, again, I don't want to be the kind of person. I get this way a little bit with the protesting too. Everybody's got to protest everything. I believe in protesting, but I don't believe in the abuse of protesting. I believe in making political statements, but at award shows in 2026, go on your fucking Twitter. You know, you want to make those statements, go on your Twitter. You know? Is that what he said? No war, free Palestine? I don't hate it, but something, you know, when one of these people that win best sound editing for a 4-minute foreign film, when one of them says it, I'm like, okay, they've seen some shit. They've been through some stuff. I can accept it from them. When it comes from one of the Oscar winners, the Javier I'm like, whatever. Big waste of time. I don't know what happened during the Sinners music part. Things got a little weird there where it was like 80s hip hop too. I thought the Sinners musical performance from the SAG-AFTRA Awards or the Actor Awards was better than the Oscar version of it. Even though Buddy Guy was in this version, he was like standing there for a second. I don't know why he wasn't playing anything. I'm like, how do you play a blues thing and Buddy Guy? You don't hand Buddy Guy a fucking guitar? That doesn't make sense. But they had K-pop Demon Hunters perform, which I thought was a smart move. The In Memoriam segment was so sad, and they actually got Barbra Streisand to sing, which does not happen anymore. And by the way, she sounded good, but also sounded not so good at the same time. But then again, I'm like, I just appreciate that she's here. Like, you could tell she loved Robert Redford so much that she's like, I'm gonna come out of my basement and sing for everybody. I'm just gonna give you guys a little Babs magic. Supposedly he was the first one to call her Babs. She went on and on about that. I loved seeing Billy Crystal, but I just wanted more of him. Like I said prior, I wanted Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan to just fucking act out a scene together. It was great just to see them on the stage together and all the people from Rob Reiner's films, but I don't know. It left me wanting more, which I guess is a good thing. You know, I guess that's a good thing. Rhonda says, I guess who cares? I mean, who cares if she didn't sing well? Like, she sang good. It was good, but Like when she was singing, I was like, boy, I wonder what the young people are thinking. The young people must be like, this was your fucking big star. We loved Barbra Streisand. We fucking love. Ask anybody over the age of like 35. We fucking love Barbra Streisand. Okay, even those of us who think she's kind of annoying, which I can be known to be that at times. I'm still gonna fight and defend her. You put one of your Olivia Rodrigos up against Barbra Streisand, I'm going Streisey all the time, all day, every day, twice on Sunday, motherfucker. But I appreciate that she was there and she came out to sing. But yeah, I wanted more from Billy Crystal and Rob Reiner. Boy, I tell you, we lost a lot of heavy hitters in the in memoriam. I mean, there was Robert Redford, Duvall, Reiner, like, holy shit, the list was on and on. Somebody got upset that they didn't include Hulk Hogan. I was like, in the fucking in memoriam? But I guess he was in No Holds Bar. That's something. I mean, I guess respect the No Holds Bar Academy, you son of a bitches. But they got mad that, who's the guy who, Vanderbeek. They didn't put Vanderbeek in, and a couple other people they got upset about. But they were mostly TV people. Let me see. I had the list here before. Vanderbeek, Eric Dane. Who's the other person? I would have put Vanderbeek in there. I mean, I know he wasn't in a ton of movies, but he was in Varsity Blues, which is one of the greatest movies of all time. Okay. I'll put Varsity Blues up against any piece of shit that's come out in the, for the young people. I'll put fucking Varsity Blues up against Heated Rivalry any day of the week. And I'm a diehard hockey fan. Also a big gay fan. Love the gays. Let me see here. Malcolm Jamal Warner. I thought that was a big Malcolm Jamal Warner, obviously prominently TV. Wasn't he in a bunch of movies? I feel like he's one of those guys that is so beloved that you're like, who cares if he's only a TV guy? Was all left out. Yeah. Vanderbeek is a big one though for me. Like he's huge. I thought they would have put Vanderbeek in there. Anyway. What does this mean? She has a piece of my jewelry designs too. Did she buy one of your jewelry? Is that what that means? She has a piece? Like not a piece of the pie, but she has a piece of jewelry? Is that am I reading that right? Reading is a little difficult for me, Rhonda. I don't know if you picked up on that just yet. Thunder in Paradise. Thanks, Poke Hippie. What are we going to do? Sit here and just reminisce about Hulk Hogan's fucking movie career together? Is that what you want to do, Poke Hippie? Because I'll fucking do it. Don't threaten me with a good time. I will fucking go there. What was the one where he was an alien that landed on Earth? I got to look that up now. That was a good one with Christopher Lloyd. Does anybody remember that movie? Or do you just think I'm high off my ass? Because I promise you I haven't taken any substances today. Not a one. Suburban Commando. Suburban fucking... Oh my God, and Rocky 3 too. But probably his most lauded one. Probably the most legitimate one. I mean, this one we could actually call a film, Robin. Good for you. Yeah, I can't believe I went right to No Holds Barred. But yeah, Rocky 3. Yeah, Rocky 3, No Hold. You know what? Hulk Hogan should have been in the goddamn in memoriam. Son of a bitch. Nobody thought about Terry Bollea. How could that be? I mean, come on. Suburban Commando, No Holds Barred, Rocky 3, the sex tape, technically. I mean, if you ever saw the one with him and the fat radio guy's wife, that was technically a movie, technically. Mr. Nanny in 93. Boy, he went on a tear here. From 80, No Holds Bar in 89, Suburban Commando in 91, and Mr. Nanny in 1993. Hulk Hogan had a Jim Carrey 1994 run before Jim Carrey in 1994, and nobody's talking about it. That's what's heartbreaking. I'm with you, wrestling fans. That was a run like we've never seen before. It's a run like we've never seen before, Mr. Nanny. Suburban Commando with Christopher Lloyd. It's the guy from Back to the Future. It's fantastic. And no holds barred. He apparently had no holds barred. They didn't bar any holds in that movie. A lot of people told me there were holds, but they were not barred. They were allowed, and he was good in it. He went on quite a run. Hulk Hogan beat Zeus. A lot of people don't talk about that. Beat Zeus, pretty bad. And then he banged that fat radio host's wife. That was pretty good too. Got to see that Hulk had a really small wiener. That was when I really related to him in that moment. Thought that was amazing. Small wiener, it didn't have anything to do with his hands. He's got big hands. Just saying. Yeah, that's really it. When was Rocky 3? What year was that? That had to be before No Holds Barred, right? And that's how he got No Holds Barred, because he was in Rocky 3, right? I think Rocky 3 was the one that opened it up for him. No? Wasn't that the one that kind of like led the way for everything else? All right, now we got to go to his IMDb. I don't know when the fuck Rocky 3 was. I feel like 85, maybe? 86 was Rocky 3? Grabbed her by the potato. Rocky 3. Oh, Rocky 3 was 82? Shit. Damn. I thought it was a little after that. Rocky 3 was 82. Fucking Robin. When was Rocky 3? After 1 and 2. That gets nominated. That's just 2. You slip the jab right in there and knock me out. You know, when you think the hook's going to put somebody down, but also you get a little jab in there and it catches them by surprise. They go down. You win the fight. That's what that was right there from Robin. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Now I'm going to watch Suburban Commando, which I know is not on a streaming service. So I'm going to wind up spending fucking $7.99 to relive my childhood moment. I remember so let me see. Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan and Christopher Lloyd comes out in 1991. I'm 9 years old. I'm 9 in 1991. I'm 9. I love that movie, but I remember thinking to myself, boy, Christopher Lloyd must have gotten himself into some gambling trouble or something. Why is he doing this? I'm 9 years old and I'm going, he must really need the money, because I mean, I would have done Back to the Future 5 before I took the fucking Suburban Commando job. And I'm 9 years old and I'm thinking this way. Just at 9 going, what happened? I thought Christopher Lloyd had integrity. I guess not. 91. Now, when was, hold on, I got to look. Now I'm fucking curious. Because when was Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Was that 89? 88. So Chris Lloyd went on a fucking Back to the Future run. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? He does all these great films, and then he goes, I know, I'll do Suburban Commando. Back to the Future is 85. Oh, so Who Framed Roger Rabbit is right after Back to the Future is 85. Who Framed Roger Rabbit's 88. Back to the Future 2 is 89. And then Back to the Future 3 is 90. So he goes on that amazing run from 85 to 90 and then goes, I guess I'll do a movie with Hulk Hogan next. That's unbelievable. I saw Christopher Lloyd in Waiting for Godot. I don't know if it's Godot or I say Godot. Or Godot, or however. There's like a new way of pronouncing it that I'm like, I saw Christopher Lloyd in Waiting for Godot. He was fucking 4 feet away from me. It was the greatest acting thing I've ever seen. I've told this story a billion times. But it was literally, it was four bleachers, 4 rows of bleachers, like you would find at a shitty baseball field, around a gym mat with a twig and a rock. That was the place we saw this thing at. And I was in high school. We took the train into the city. I go see the show. I could literally see the spit flying out of their face. The guy who played Monk, Tony Shalhoub was in it, and somebody else huge was in it. And I watched them all do Waiting for Godot, like right in front of my face. And I remember thinking to myself, this is the greatest acting that I have ever seen. And then I thought, Christopher Lloyd must owe a bookie a lot of money because he's really, like, I remember thinking that play was so good up close that I remember thinking, I feel like I shouldn't be here. Like, I was sitting in the front row, and I remember looking over to my teacher and I go, I don't think I should be this close to greatness. Should I move to the back? I feel like I'm like a fourth row bleacher guy. I shouldn't be here. This isn't where I belong. But it was pretty unbelievable. I'm just looking at Christopher Lloyd's IMDb. I don't know if you guys realize this, but the show ended 45 minutes ago. We haven't said a goddamn thing worth a sense in the last 45 minutes. All right, let me pick it up from... I'm going to pick it up from 85. Back to the Future. Oh, he did Clue. Miracles, Amazing Stories, Walk Like a Man. 87. Was that the one with Robert Downey Jr.? No. This Walk Like a Man starred Howie Mandel. Okay, so it looks like he was making shitty movies very early on. It looks like, I don't know what to think of Walk Like a Man, but in this, the cover of this movie poster is him, Christopher Lloyd, standing with a leash. There's two dogs, but the leash is around Howie Mandel's neck, and Howie Mandel is crouching down with his hands like this, like paws. I don't know. He must have owed a lot of money in 87. He must have really. Then he followed that up with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, massive hit. 8 Men Out in 88. The Dream Team in 89. Who was in the Dream Team? He also does Back to the Future. Oh, all right. Michael Keaton, Christopher Lloyd, Peter Boyle, and Stephen Furst. Why do I vaguely remember this movie? 4 mental patients on a field trip in New York City must save their caring chaperone, who ends up being taken to a hospital in a coma after accidentally witnessing a murder before the killers can find him, finish the job. Boy, if that is not a late 80s, early 90s movie plot. I've never, okay, all right. So bear with me. We've got 4 mental patients, right? And obviously they're on a field trip to New York City. And somebody in the room was like, they don't actually take mental patients to field trips to New York City. Just so, no. Follow me now. But there's a chaperone, and he really cares about them. But he witnesses a murder. There's something about, this is fucking Sister Act. I don't know what it is about witnessing a murder movies that is just like, we haven't seen one of these since the late night. I don't think we've seen one since Sister Act. All right, I'm going to go look up, I forget Walk Like a Man. I'm going to go watch The Dream Team from Christopher Lloyd. Back to the Future 2, Buster Poindexter, Hit the Road, Jack, Why Me? Back to the Future Part 3, DuckTales the movie, Back to the Future the ride, Suburban Commando, and The Addams Family. Boy, in between Back to the Future Part 3 and The Addams Family is Suburban Commando. He was great in The Addams Family. I forgot all about Uncle Fester. He's fucking great in all those. There's Back to the Future TV movie, $20. Dennis the Menace. He's fucking great in Dennis the Menace in 1993. Addams Family Values also in 93. Angels in the Outfield. He's pretty good at. Campy, Disney, cheesy movie, but still good. And that's really it. I don't really things to do in Denver when you're dead. Fallen Angels, Rent a Kid, The Right to Remain Silent, Cadillac Ranch. Boy, the mid to late 90s was not friendly to Christopher Lloyd. Changing Habits, Deadly Games, The Real Blonde, Dinner at Friends, Angels in the End Zone, which is a TV movie. Jesus. I don't know if there's an actor that I respect more that has been in more blockbuster amazing movies and also shitty straight to DVD or TV Disney sequel movies than fucking Christopher Lloyd. Holy shit. Angels in the end zone. It's Angels in the outfield, but football, and it's Matthew Lawrence playing the football star. Jesus Christ, that must be a real piece of shit. Holy crap. I hope that never accidentally hits a streaming service and I accidentally put it on. I might fucking die of just awfulness. Everybody be extra cautious when you're scrolling through Disney Plus that you don't accidentally stumble across Angels in the End Zone. For Christ's sake, you're all important to me. I can't afford to lose any of you. He did an episode on Spin City. I remember that was like a huge deal because it was Marty McFly and Doc Brown together again. And then he's in Man on the Moon in the 90s, in 99, because he knew Kaufman, obviously. He was part of the taxi thing. Wish You Were Dead. Okay, I think we'll bow out here. In the Tremors TV series, with the early 2000s wasn't good to him either. He was in the Back to the Future video slots. That's awesome. What are you working on, Chris? Well, I'm actually doing Back to the Future again. Oh, is there going to be a fourth? No. We're doing the video slots this time around. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. I tell everybody they hit a jackpot, and we're going. We're going. We don't need rolls, for the coins because you win bills. That's basically the big line there. I thought the show ended a half hour ago. 45 minutes. You're being generous. It was about 45 minutes. We stopped trying an hour and 15 into it, to be totally honest with you. And now that we're at an hour and 30, I think we'll hit the music. Appreciate you guys, as always. Fun hang on this Monday. Yeah, I like the Oscars. I just thought, I don't know. I'm going to forget all about them come Wednesday. That's the problem. There's nothing in there that was just like, whoa, it was amazing. I like the bit when Conan talked about the Oscars going to vertical and going to be on YouTube and getting interrupted by that girl there. That was a good bit. There were some really good bits in there. Conan, I thought, did really well. The crowd wasn't going along with his Conan-ness as much as I wanted to. The opening number where he got Josh Groban to sing for him too, I thought was a cute bit. He had some good stuff in there. But I think everything else, what the problem is too? There was no surprises. Everything, actress, supporting, every prediction that we talked about last week on the show came in. There was literally no surprises the entire evening. There wasn't one shocking upset the entire time. I think that's why it was kind of like Robin, you had a good episode, my friend, but I canceled my Banksy of America card. That's going to be comment of the episode.
Show me potato salad.
Kudos to Brian the Cannon Bannon. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you Wednesday.
We should go now. Go ahead.